Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 3rd. We're just going to jump right in here, Aquarius, and see. Can't get any cards, but it says, try not to resist change that is coming your way. Don't delay the inevitable. It says, true love will find you in the end. So, again, there could be a change in your love life, or you could be finding love. I also feel like you could be trying to find something that you will love as well, because you have the Five of Cups, which... this could be disappointments just that you've experienced in love in general, but I also kind of get the feeling that, for the most part, I feel this reading is more talking about you kind of trying to find your place in the world, or trying to, find something that you love. Like, it could be a job that you love, or, it could be just something that you do every single day that you love. Could be anything. But definitely seems to be a major focus that it's kind of like what I feel here for you. I do feel there are like a lot of changes. You have this change card here, and it could be one of those weeks where you're just like seeing the changes in the world, and I feel this reading is encouraging you to embrace the changes, not like get scared, of the changes. I always say that, like, this is the time of like old man yelling at the sky, right? It's like we are in that energetic time where, I feel like a lot of people could be freaking out about like new technologies and things like that. Just like when the car was invented, people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this, but now everybody has a car. So, what I would say is it's like, I feel like, there could just be, and this isn't even new technology in life that you could be feeling this way. It could just be like changes that are happening in your life. And I kind of feel this is saying like, hey, there's something better coming in for you. You have this Two of Cups, this Five of Cups, but the Two Cups back here lead to this bridge in the castle over here. So he's grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. He just has to be grateful. The solution to the Five of Cups is gratitude, being grateful for what you do have, and then you get the bridge and the castle. So I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of like about releasing the need to control. That first card that you had there said, try not to resist change. Oh yeah, there you go. I thought I said control, but it says change. It doesn't matter. You have three change cards now, I'm noticing. You have that card, you have the change card, then you have this moon card that says change on it. So clearly, there's a big change. You have the Magician. The change could be you. You could be the one that is going through the change or the reinvention. Again, he has a snake wrapped around his waist, and that represents the Ouroboros. The snake on the Magician kind of represents reinvention, turning yourself from one thing into another, or going through some sort of reinvention. So I kind of feel like that's what's going on here with the Magician. You have the King of Swords. It's like, I need to clarify, honestly, because I'm not sure what I feel on this King of Swords, other than, like, I feel like something needs to happen, I always look at the King of Swords as turning, like, knowledge into wisdom. He, like, learned something, but he actually puts it into practice. So it kind of, like, says, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I feel like he can represent having gone through, some lessons, or, just teaching yourself something. It could be a good thing. You could be learning a new skill or something like that. And in your reading, I kind of feel like he's saying, like, okay, like, you learned something, and now it's time to put it into practice. Now it's actually time to, take what you've learned and use it. And that's kind of like the energy that I get off that King of Swords. Let's see. With the Five of Cups, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, this is what's waiting for you, is the Ten of Pentacles, building and leaving a legacy, enjoying your life, experiencing something, great. I always say I love the Ten of Pentacles, but, to me, it's not something that we just get. It's, something that we work on for the rest of our lives. It's building, leaving a legacy, which is, something that you will do for a long time. And we are in a time, again, of building, leaving a legacy. Uranus and Taurus is all about kind of like, creating more freedom, but I also feel that it's also about building, leaving a legacy. So this could be like, writing a book, doing something to, leave your mark on the world, even if it's like just having, creating a positive family. If you want to have a family with the Ten of Cups, it could be starting a business, whatever, but, that could be what's changing here. With the Magician, you have the Nine of Cups. There's something you want here. Even going this way, the Magician is pointing to the Page of Cups. It could be love, but I always say that Page of Cups, he's got that fish in the cup, which could just be like a goal, wish, or dream. It could be anything. We actually don't know. It also, we don't know if that fish is meant to be real or imaginary either. So, it could be something like a goal, wish, or dream that you're imagining. And I kind of say that because they are imagining those 10 cups up above their heads on the 10 of Cups. But it could also just be something that you see as an opportunity that would be, you see it as something that would be fulfilling, but you kind of have to grab onto it. With the King of Swords, yeah, you have the World card. Yeah, it's going to be an accomplishment. Like, if you're just sitting there thinking about something in your life, like, oh, I'm going to do this business, or, oh, I'm going to, go date this person or whatever. I feel like this is saying, like, okay, well, actually go do it. Don't just, like, sit around and wait for something to happen. I feel like this is you kind of, like, living life on purpose, more that type of energy. Next in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this official person card and this change card. I do feel like you are becoming an official person. For those of you that want to stand out, again, Pluto and Aquarius, when it, at the end of the year, next year, really, it's going to be amazing for you for getting attention. And you have the Six of Wands here as well, which, again, if you have a job that involves social media, even if you don't, then I would start. I would do something. I encourage, like, everyone to start a YouTube channel, even if it's not good. It doesn't matter. I always tell people, like, imagine if let's say you have, like, a certain type of career, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And if you just started sharing advice on a YouTube channel about it, it's like if you ever get fired, if you ever, want to quit or whatever, it's like you have the channel to fall back on. Plus, if you go to another job and you're like, look, I'm an expert in this, I talk about my career, literally, that's how passionate I am about it, and you show your YouTube channel to someone, who do you think is going to get hired? It's going to be you, because you actually talk about it and you share advice about it and things like that. So I always tell people, it's like, we have these tools, but most people don't use them. So it doesn't matter if anyone watches or not. It's just like building a tool that could be very beneficial. And again, you never know where it's going to go. Like, nobody who's ever been super big on YouTube, except for like Mr. Beast. Like, I think most people just have just done it for fun. Originally, most of the original big people, they just did it for, shits and giggles, right? And it just kind of like one thing led to another. And again, we have to put ourselves in situations for one thing to lead to another. So I kind of get that here, where it's like, if you want to be in social media or become an official person, or if you're trying to become an expert, sharing your knowledge would be a very good idea. You have the King of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Page of Cups. It could be love coming in for you, and it definitely could be a fire sign. I'm pretty sure that you've been getting a fire sign with me for, a couple weeks now at least. So, it could be a fire sign coming in for you. I also do feel that this week, like, it's one of those weeks that is definitely encouraging you to be bold, assertive, and really get started, especially for those of you that have been dreaming of something. Or for those of you that, like, have some sort of idea about, like, what you're going to build in your life or what you're going to create. I feel like this is saying, like, get going. You have the Six of Wands. Again, a ton of attention coming in for you. It is a time of attention, as I always say. And, especially Pluto and Aquarius, once that it goes back into Aquarius, and even now, it doesn't matter. Pluto moves extremely slowly. It takes it forever to move through a sign. It's going to be in Aquarius for like 20 years. Really it takes, and it's an elliptical orbit. Like, it takes 30 years to get through Taurus. So, and we'll be dead by the time that happens. But what I would say here is, it's going to be a long time where we can get a lot of attention, but we want to make sure we're getting positive attention and that we're being successful and, kind of doing things that, lift people up and all that other stuff. But this to me is saying, like, the energy is there for you to be successful. You have the Page of Cups. I do feel like some of you are kind of like thinking about love here, going this way to the Ten of Cups. It is interesting that you have the Two of Pentacles like this way and this way. Some of you, it's like you could be, I'm wondering if either you are choosing between two people or maybe a person you're interested in has another person. It's like one person is willing to be permanent. We're going to have to like wait till we see what we get here at the end. But the King of Pentacles is my card of like a permanent connection. He really wants to build something permanent as well. I'm kind of leaning towards the fire sign just in general. Just, I don't know, this right here seems stronger to me than this for whatever reason. So again, if you're choosing between two people or if you have two people that you're like dating or whatever, I would say like one person is probably like much more confident, and I actually feel this is kind of like an easy choice in a lot of ways here, Aquarius, because it's like I think the King of Wands type person, doesn't matter what gender you're into either. I think they're just more, there's like more coming off that person. Let's see. With the King of Wands, you have the Devil, although I'd be careful. Could just be a Capricorn, but you do have the Devil. I would be careful of toxic energy in general at this time. Everybody's been getting the Devil. It's pretty crazy. So, there you go. With the Six of Wands, you have the Hierophant. Yep, marriage potential coming in here, but also a lot of Taurus energy. We have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, so there is just a lot of expansive Taurus energy in the astrology in general. But what I would say is that I really feel the Hierophant is more about outside the box thinking sometimes, and he is also like knowledge and wisdom. So, definitely time for you to express your knowledge and wisdom into the world. But he really thinks outside the box. So I think a lot of you need to explore like mysterious ideas with the High Priestess there. The High Priestess can just represent mystery. And again, we're going to see a lot of unique ideas coming into the world, but we have to make a lot of mistakes to come up with a unique idea. That's the problem. It's like they say the innovators end up with the arrows in their back. So if you're doing something new or different, it's like you're going to have to, make a lot of mistakes. But if you do that, you'll end up very successful. With the Page of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands here. It's like I'm wondering if like one person is inconsistent, the other person is more consistent. Again, what I will say to you, Aquarius, is that this message is not exactly clear to me. If you're trying to pick between two people, I have no freaking clue what you're going to do, if I'm being honest. But as I always say, I would never trust a intuitive that claims to know everything. Number one. Number two, I think just intuitively, I do feel it'll be obvious. I think one person is like obviously more confident. I feel like they have more in life as well. Not that it's like about having anything, but it is. And also I think one person like puts in the effort. So like don't create confusion in your head about who you should pick, right? Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Teeth card that says control change. Are you kidding? You have this Moon card that says cycles and change. Clearly, there is a major change going on here. You have 4. I didn't even know that Teeth card said change on it. So there you go. Tons of change coming in for you here. I feel like you need to embrace the change. You have the High Priestess, and again, she would represent mysteries. So you have the High Priestess, 2 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. The High Priestess, again, she represents mysteries, so I feel like you need to dig into the mysteries. I would also encourage you to trust your intuition, of course, and, I kind of feel like a change could have a lot of potential. I always say that the High Priestess is really the card of potential. She could say that there's a change coming, and it just has a lot of potential, and so if you take advantage of the change, then you will experience a lot of growth or abundance or whatever. If you don't, then nothing will change. So I feel like she's kind of like encouraging you to move towards something that feels right. With the 2 of Pentacles, I would pick the new path here as well. I think that could be another like helpful thing for you, is if you're trying to make a decision. Sometimes I feel that the 2 of Pentacles just says, pick the new path. If you have a choice between 2 things, pick the new thing. That's where the success is going to come in for you. I also I would be careful of juggling energy, like back and forth energy, just in general. I also feel like, if you're an indecisive Aquarius, I get it. I'm an Aquarius rising, but what I would say here is that sometimes no decision is the right decision, To me, we never have to justify a good decision. I just said to someone last night as well that, they were asking about yes or no questions in tarot. They're like, if someone asks me a yes or no question in tarot, but I don't think it's a yes or a no, what do I say? And I always say, well, here's the thing. Is like people that are watching tarot, and again, this is not a criticism, I've watched tarot for years, I totally get it. It's like they're trying to justify a decision. So it's like 9 times out of 10, it isn't, the answer is no, or, whatever, right? Because it's like you're watching tarot to justify a decision. If you're asking a question like, should I break up with this person, or should I do this? Usually the answer is already yes, because you've already been thinking about it, and you're trying to justify it. So, what I would say here with the 2 of Pentacles is like, sometimes we just have to, there's an old saying, money loves speed, right? I think just like decisions love speed in general. So it's like if you're trying to make a decision and you're like looking and you're trying to justify it, then maybe the decision is either no decision or the new path, right? You have the Queen of Cups, and also to listen to your heart. Your heart knows what it wants, just in general. So, I feel like you need to kind of like listen to your heart, especially right now. I keep saying to people with all this Taurus energy, there's something very heart-based about, all the Taurus energy. And ever since all this energy went into Taurus, everybody gets the Queen of Cups. And, I really feel it's like the universe is like saying, okay, like your heart knows exactly what it wants, so move in that direction and don't justify the decision, right? I think justified decisions are never a good decision, right? I've justified a lot of decisions, and I always regret it. With the High Priestess, you have the Chariot. There's like a victory coming in for you here. Going this way, 2 cards of victory, 6 of Wands, and the Chariot. Some of you could also be meeting a person from a distance as well in love right here. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a fire sign. That King of Wands is really standing out to me just in general in this reading. It could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo as well, but and it could be any sign, just a general reading, but that's what's standing out to me here. With the 2 of Pentacles, you have the 4 of Cups, love it. I love this 4 of Cups if it wants to focus. This is from the White Sage Tarot, and you can see that those 3 cups are pouring into 1 cup. So again, I feel like you could be attracting a person if you're looking for love, where it's like they really put all their energy into you. For others, I have a weird message. Like if you're starting like a side hustle, getting a career or something like that, it's much like, I feel the 4 cups is saying it's much better use of your time, It's kind of like I see those 3 cups as maybe like 3 different things that you do for your business or your career or whatever, but it's like worth it. It's like all 3 things kind of like work together, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords here. I'm wondering also if this is a past person right here, someone who is inconsistent or something like that. Someone could be coming in to tell the truth here. Ace of Swords to the Knight of Swords. It's like been weighing heavy on their heart or something like that, Aquarius. It's like, I don't know that this person like totally lied. I just think, maybe they feel bad or something like that, and they're like rushing in. I'm not so sure you want to hear from this person, Aquarius. This King of Pentacles, it's kind of hard to see, but he's looking towards the future. And I kind of feel if there's a person coming in to tell you the truth, I feel like you are, kind of looking more towards the future here. You're not really interested in that. I also feel the Ace of Swords could be a victory, so there are definitely victories coming in for you. Finally, in the good stuff, you have the time for a nap in this buy the book card. Yeah, I feel for those of you that need a nap, that need a break, I feel now is the time to take a break. I also feel that like something is going according to plan, which rarely ever happens. Like rarely ever do we set out to make some sort of change in life and it goes exactly according to plan, right? Normally there's like speed bumps and, things that get in the way. But I kind of feel like some sort of plan for a change, clearly you have 19 change cards here, is going to go exactly according to plan. It's like exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You have the 10 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles here. The 10 of Cups is a card of fortune after difficulty. It's a card of abundance as well. So, I feel like, it's a card of abundant happiness. These people are choosing to be happy. So I feel like there's a lot of happiness and kind of like joy coming in for you. I also feel like a lot of you are learning like how to make yourself happy, which is great. So, definitely something you seem to be working on. You have this Knight of Swords here. Again, I just get this feeling of someone rushing in. Will it make you feel good? Maybe, maybe justified is like the words that I'm getting here. So it's like if someone is rushing in to apologize or something here, Aquarius, I kind of feel like you feel justified or you feel like, okay, like, I feel good about this in some way. But at the same time, I would be careful, if you don't want to hear from a person. This is showing up in the good stuff. So I do feel like it's also saying that, things are going to be moving forward for you very quickly. And finally, here you go. Here's all the Taurus energy, right? You have this in the Hierophant. So again, I would tap into that Taurus energy that we have going on right now. I would make sure that everything you do is attached to your values. I think Taurus is all about values, and as long as you're doing things that you value or that bring value to the world, then you're going to be very successful. And that's really like all I would focus on with that King of Pentacles. And again, if you're attracting love, the King of Pentacles would be a person who wants something like permanent. Let's see. With the 10 of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, definitely a knight in shining armor. Kind of like charging into your life here. I do feel like this could be communication. Like someone could be communicating with you here that they're interested in you or, something along those lines. It could be part of like your group. The 10 of Cups would be your community. So it could be a person that you know from the community or just around you in general. With the Knight of Swords, you have the 6 of Wands again. Yeah, this is like a quick victory. It's like if you're making a change, with all the change cards, 6 of Wands twice here, I feel like the change is going to lead to like a big victory for you. And what do you know? With the King of Pentacles, King of Wands. Yes, definitely, clearly, this is the good choice. Even though you have that devil there, it doesn't matter. It could be, it could just be a Capricorn or a person who has Capricorn in their chart or something like that. It could be just nothing. So it could be that maybe you're still dealing with a past person. You have to make a change here to be with a new person, but definitely feel like that's the right person. We're doing 5 main themes now. You have this card that says, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Another change card. So trust your intuition. I was literally saying something about that High Priestess. So I feel like your intuition is guiding you towards change and you need to trust it. You have this dark man card. I always clarify these man cards, woman cards, whatever. It says dealings or relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. You have this bat. It says take care, enemies are working against you. Obviously, if you're dealing with a dark person, could be any person, doesn't have to be a man, then I would be very careful, especially if you feel like someone is working against you. You have this April card, and the star card says guaranteed success. I feel like April was a time of ideas. And so if you came up with like an idea or have been thinking about doing something since the month of April, I feel like this could be something that leads to you becoming a star or, leads to a lot of success. So love it. You have this desk card. It says pay attention to your work. Yes, I would definitely pay attention to your work. I feel like there are like better ways you could do things. I was saying this with that 4 cups. You have this throne card. It says position of authority. Yes, I was talking about this as well. It's like if you start social media talking about your job, you become an authority, right? So there's like something here about becoming an authority. Some of you just could be trying to, start a business where you become an authority on something. And again, I would put work into that because I feel like you're going to be successful like very quickly with that. And it's definitely going to be a change. It's probably going to change your life. So many change cards here. It's crazy. Clearly a big change. But thank you for being here, Aquarius, and definitely enjoy your week.